Hey Warriors, it's DeCrans here, and next project I want to talk about is how to draw animals. Now, for this project, what we're going to be using is a method where you're going to look and you're going to try to find shapes in the animals and then draw just simple shapes. And then after you get the simple shapes, then you're going to be able to go and add some more details to it, adjust the shapes a little bit, and make an animal kind of look like an animal. So, for this project here, I'll just kind of go through here. It'll make sense in a second. I'm looking for two different drawings. You're going to go to a site called howtodrawanimals.com, and they got a bazillion different animals. You just pick and choose the animal you want. There's a YouTube video you can watch. YouTube video of a person drawing the animals and go step by step, or you can just follow the step-by-step directions and how to draw an animal there. Then you're just going to find a picture of an animal that you're interested in drawing, and you're going to see if you can find the simple shapes in it and draw the simple shapes and then add more and more detail. Very similar method that they're going to show you at the site howtodrawanimals.com. So let's kind of look at this here. So learning target is I can draw animals in proportion using the sketching shapes, then shading method. So sketching simple shapes, then shading, and details afterwards. So the first drawing you're going to do is you're going to go to the howtodrawanimals.com and follow along with the instructions on there. And the second thing is you're going to find a photo or image of an animal that you like to draw and use the sketching shape method to draw the shape of the animal. Then you're going to add details and shading. So like right here, they drew a lion, and you can see it's just simple shapes. So you got kind of like a big circle, a little circle kind of connected, and kind of a box shape for the head. Just looking at like simple shapes, and you're sketching really light. And then you're adding more shapes to it, and then you get everything proportioned. And the thing is, if you just start drawing in detail and and look at it hard and trying to get like the fur right away, it's going to look all messed up. And you want to see if you can get the things proportions right before you add any details. So let me kind of go to the site real quick here and kind of show you what I'm talking about. So here's the site howtodrawanimals.com. You can there's a link to it on Canvas. It's how, like HOW, then the number 2, and then drawanimals.com. It's the website, but there's a link right there. Anyway, so you can think of like different animals, and you can just like kind of click on it. They got everything's alphabetized on top. So you got A through C, D through F, M through, you get it right there where you get the different alphabetized stuff. So you can think of animals. I don't know, I'm just going to think of something off the top of my head. What about a parakeet? I had a parakeet when I was a little kid. So I'll go to P's for parrots or parakeets. Just kind of scrolling down. You can see they got tons of different animals. So you're just going to pick and choose the animal that you kind of like. But yeah, you get the idea. There's tons of animals. You know what? I'm gonna, now that I'm here, I see a platypus, and I've never drawn a platypus before, so I'm gonna kind of look at that. So click on the animal that you want to draw. Everything they have, from dragons to unicorns to dogs to lizards to snakes to horses to got hundreds of different animals to choose from. Anyway, so how to draw a platypus. So right here, they have a video. You can click on the video. And it'll link to a YouTube site, or you can follow along with the directions. Direction 1, draw a circle. Directions 2, 2 circles. Direction 3. So if I was to follow all these different directions, it would walk me through step by step how to draw a platypus. So I'm going to just follow along the directions. So you get the shapes done. Then it goes into drawing some details for drawing the eyes. But it's starting out with the simple shapes. Adding more and more details to the platypus. Here's step 11, step 12, and you can kind of see it just starts forming into a platypus. But you guys got to kind of get the idea. So howtodrawanimals.com. Click on the link. It walks you through step by step on how to draw an animal, any animal that you want. You can choose the animal, and it's just a pretty cool site. So again, you can follow along with the directions, or if you click on the link, there'll be a link to a YouTube video. Here's blue whale. I just clicked on, and then you can watch the the person drawing step by step how to draw the blue whale. Anyways, you get the idea. So let's go kind of back to the presentation here. So drawing one, an animal, you're picking an animal, draw from that site. Drawing number two, then you're going to find a picture of an animal that you're going to draw. And so what I drew was a bighorn sheep. So I saw this like image of a bighorn sheep, and I wanted to see if I could actually go and draw it. So what I did to start out with for my drawing, and this could be any kind of animal you want. It could be a close-up or an animal at a distance. It could be your dog, your cat, any kind of animal. But just like looking at this, like what kind of shapes did I see? And I see like the head kind of sticks out a little bit, the neck's kind of big, and then the horns are like these. So instead of like drawing fur, noses, eyes, I'm just going to get those basic shapes down first. So I started out with, and it kind of like comes up kind of like for the neck, and the head kind of comes out, and I just want to get the lines for the curve for the top of the head. And then after I got done doing that, then I went through and added a little more detail there. Now how the curves come down, there's kind of the points for the ears, and kind of the roundness on the edges for like the nose, so it's not so boxy shaping. But before I did any of that, I got to get the shapes down, so just getting simple shapes, very simple shapes. Then once I got that done, then I worked on the eyes a little bit, and next went to the texture of the horns. So seeing the direction that the horns kind of come up, seeing how it's not just like a straight line; they're curved lines. Gets you like the nice texture of the hard horns where they hit. So I worked on that for a little while, and then I went to next after I got doing that. This is kind of completely different than the fur. And so the fur, I took my pencil and I went up and down the same direction that the fur is going. So when I look at the nose, the fur is kind of coming up and out and over, but the direction in the shading, and it's really not like you're drawing individual hairs, you're just shading, but you're not blending it, and you're shading in the direction that the fur goes, and it makes it look like fur. So I drew the fur, and then I put it all together. With the horns in the back. I try to break it up so it'll be easier to see. So this is my final drawing of the bighorn sheep. So again, you can draw however you want, but I want you to see if you can find the simple shapes. So that's it. That's pretty much it for the drawing. Again, you got you have Monday or you have Thursday, Friday this week, and then you have all of next week. I know there's a couple days we don't have school, but this doesn't take that long. You could probably like knock out the how to draw animal website, pick one and do that in a session, and then find an image of an animal and draw that. So I'm looking for two different animals. You can put them both on one sheet of paper if you want, or I can put them on each different sheets of paper, and then send those to the canvas. So I think you'll have fun with it. I really like that howtodrawanimals.com site. I think it's pretty cool. So let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you at the Google Meet.